Restoring a unique home often means making unusual decisions. In today's episode, we dive into the controversy of using a seemingly risky material that turns out to be a genius solution.
It's not like you're licking it or touching it every day. It just looks so beautiful on the old historic structures when it's done right.
We're Brittany and Drew, two hopeful adventurers building our dream as we turn this old watermill into our very first home, not on wheels. Now, let's take in a deep breath and let it out. Let the adventure begin.
Welcome back to another episode from the watermill. You guys might remember that large, heavy roll of lead that we picked up in Spain. Well, today's the day that we're putting that to use. We're cutting it so that we can shape it, and we're going to show you how that's done. You can see it's 3 millimeters thick by 1 meter long by 5 meters in length. We're measuring out specific sections, that way it goes right on top of our window and at the base. But it is not easy. We have to cut with a knife, pressing really hard once we get a straight line, and it allows us to then fold it and break it apart. As we cut and handle and shape the lead, we're being extra careful to handle it with gloves and not lick it. You guys have all probably heard of lead poisoning, and it's something that we're extra careful to think about. They use it commonly in many places around the world, but then other places it's quite controversial and not used. They like to use it on historic buildings, especially in the UK, and Ferg is very familiar with working on it. He's even shown us some beautiful awnings they've made over pubs still to this day. So right now we're forming what will be a cap over top this casing that will allow it to be entirely sealed and weatherproofed. It's going to fold down just like my hand's representing and allow any water to drip off the top, as well as allow the shutters to swing and fold. So we're using this piece of wood as a representation of this piece that was used from the window we created up top, so it simulates the sizing we need and allows a nice stable edge. That way when the lead is bent, it gives it its form and gives us something sturdy to pound against. What do you call this tool?
It's a lead dressing tool.
And why are some plastic versus some wood?
The nicer ones are all in wood.
Yeah.
But they usually get left outside and they get wet and they get damaged. And also when you hit them with a hammer, the wooden ones get damaged quite a bit.
Ah, and these hold their form.
Yeah. So I prefer the wooden ones, but for most stuff,
that does the job really well.
Use that. And then there's obviously the different shaped ones.
Yeah.
In corners. Or for shaping round stuff.
Like kind of pushing it, molding it out. Because this stuff's pretty malleable and allows you to kind of spread it out, which we'll show as we get further into the project.
I think they call that one an egg. 2 different sizes depending on what you use that for the bigger stuff, and then when you get into a little bit more detail, you use a smaller edge.
But for now, this is the tool of choice.
This is one for now.
So you see lead used still to this day a lot in the UK. Why would you say they don't use it as much in other parts of Europe, but are still using it in the UK today?
I think the biggest part of it, Portugal's slightly different, but obviously like Andy was saying about Germany as well, they don't use it. I think it's probably because of the toxicity of it.
Yeah.
Like lead, they used to put lead in paint.
Yep.
And all sorts of stuff, didn't they?
I know in the pipes for water that goes to houses, and so in America a lot of the pipes have been torn out because the drinking water or the water people are using to wash their dishes. But when it comes to lead on windows, it's only going to appear on the outside of the house. It's not like you're licking it or touching it every day. But when we were talking about the comparison product of aluminum's really not so good to work with because it breaks. It's not as durable as the lead, long lasting. And just something about historic buildings, using the lead on churches, different National Trust properties. It just looks so beautiful on the old historic structures when it's done right. And you've been working with lead for a really long time.
I mean, the reason why I use it is because it's such a versatile product. Like you can actually shape it to exactly what you want with aluminium or any other metal. Yeah, so imagine trying to do those trays out of
aluminium
or anything like that, you wouldn't be able to do it. Why do you use it? Definitely try and make stuff waterproof, isn't it?
Ferg is just reconfirming that lead is an excellent choice for water prevention and just making sure that openings such as our windows are sealed up really well. And they don't have a problem with us using the lead here in Portugal. We've checked with our building inspector. It's had a connection at the Camara, the city hall, and there's no problems with using it. So that's where we decided, for the beauty of the historic section of the watermill, it's the best product for us to use. And let me tell you, if you saw the end of our last episode, you'll know that it looks really beautiful.
Basically, what Drew and Ferg are just trying to say is don't worry. Yes, we are using lead flashing, but it's only on the outside. And later in this video, you will see us seal it properly using patination oil, not plantation oil as Drew accidentally calls it, but I can see the confusion. So the only thing this flashing is going to be leaking is rainwater away from the house, no toxins. Lead flashing has been used for centuries on buildings all across Europe, from castles to cathedrals and centuries-old cottages. So as long as it's not on the menu, we good.
It's absolutely incredible how moldable this lead is to work with, and it just takes so much hammering and pounding just to shape it. You've made such tight folds on the packaging of these corners. That's impressive, really. This is where it gets really tricky. We're gonna take and fold this over and that up right on the corner. Not too many materials in this world will work quite like that you can do that kind of shaping and dressing to. Like you're pulling it and stretching it.
You're banging it that way and you're almost banging it up that way. So you're pushing some of the actual lead into that corner so that it stays thick on that corner, because otherwise if you just hit it there, it's just going to get thinner there and likely to split. So the idea is you're working the lead into the corner.
Drew and I really didn't know much about lead before starting this project, but the fact that it's so soft and malleable is probably one of the neatest properties about it. because when you hit it with a hammer or a tool, it doesn't bounce back like harder metals. Instead, it pulls or stretches the lead into shape. Roofers, masons, carpenters love it because it means that you can dress it neatly around corners and curves, form it tightly against stone or wood just by tapping it in, and it doesn't crack.
So the idea behind folding this back over itself here is this is the exterior side of the house, this is the interior. Any water that gets onto this top of the lead cannot go back beyond this, and anything is forced to come down, drip down to the pan at the bottom, or run back out to the front and off this drip and down to the ground. And now for the bottom side. With all this pounding happening around here, it gets Ferg excited. Let the pounding begin. Well, I mean, you do have 3 kids, so you must be good at it. I mean, the lead work.
Yeah.
All pounding jokes put aside, when it comes to lead, it basically just shapes perfectly to whatever surface that you're working on. For that perfect seal, no gaps, no cracks, just a watertight fit. Meanwhile, I have brought my bicycle over here to be charged. Seeing me carry this bike into the container is going to be a feat. But what I want to share with you is the power of the Bluetti Apex 300. Hang on a sec. Let's just get this bike up here and I can talk to you guys a little bit better. Hold on. Okay. Change of plans here. Bluetti, easy to move. Bicycle, not so much. And when you see the bruise that I got on my bum later on in this episode, you will understand why we are just going to charge that bike while it waits outside. Also, if you're wondering what that fan noise is, it is the fan in our container that helps keep it ventilated. What's so cool about the Apex 300 is that one single unit supports both 120 volt and 240 volt simultaneously. So there is no need to purchase or sync 2 systems. We just power it on right here. And charging modes, you can switch from silent to auto to turbo. We want this bike to charge up super fast, so let's go into turbo mode. All we have to do is power on the AC, and you heard it click. And there we can see that it's pumping 177 watts of power into our bike. And at 76% battery, this could do that for 11.5 hours. But luckily in turbo mode, charging my bike from 14 to 80% only took about 20 minutes. And the magic button is a feature you can customize in the app. What does it do? You can actually connect 2 to 3 of these units in parallel, plus you can add 1 to 18 batteries. That's insane. That means that it is completely suitable for an entire home backup system. They're also so handy to have in the camper. And right now, by clicking our link in the video description below, you're not only supporting our channel by encouraging the brands who support us to continue working with us, but you are taking a step forward in your own form of preparation. Because truly, after having Drew's parents go through a devastating hurricane and us having experienced, that random power outage that went across Portugal and Spain, having your own source of power, being able to use the sun's energy to make clean energy for you and your home despite what's going on outside in the crazy world sometimes, that it just brings peace of mind to have a Bluetti at your fingertips. It's also great for things like medical devices. There's a seamless switch over from your house power to the Bluetti power unit. So super grateful for their products. Now let's get you guys back inside that mill for the great reveal. I'd say that looks like a perfect fold. And yep, Santa and his elves would approve of this corner for sure.
All All right, it's ready to test for size in the window.
Ah, shit, it doesn't fit.
Does it fit?
The thing literally just notched that.
So the beauty of using a tray like this is that you can imagine any moisture, water that comes into here, it can't penetrate around these corners or come back in to the inside of the house. All of it's got to push to the outside. One of the tricks to preserving the lead and making sure it doesn't oxidize is using a little bit of this plantation oil right here. As you can see here, it's specifically for lead sheet flashing. I'm gonna rub it on generously and it'll keep it from changing colors or having white streaks run down our walls on the exterior. This is a super crucial step to preserving the lead for years to come.
Technically, with natural weathering, lead protects itself by forming a stable oxide layer, so even without oil, it's safe and won't leach into our living space. But patination oil does prevent that white chalky staining that Drew was talking about left by lead carbonate by forming a protective film on the surface, which slows down oxidation and gives the lead a clean, even finish. So sealing lead with patination oil not only keeps it looking nice, but it also prevents any residue from washing down. Safe, simple, and stormproof.
Just want to say what Ferg's doing right here in the corners is extremely difficult, and he's got such a good smooth way of doing it and spreading out the lead so that it doesn't crack, because this is such a vulnerable point right here, and he's able to kind of pull and push using the different tools to make that kind of shape that it's doing.
Good morning. Hi, sweetie. You want to come with me to the garden? We love the garden.
So vibrant. Oops.
I had never heard of comfrey before, but apparently it's absolutely magical. Our friend gave us this plant, and it has just blossomed into the most beautiful comfrey bush. That should be enough.
Everybody needs to know about comfrey. Basically, back in the day, it was known as knit bone because of its power in being able to help bones heal, as well as tissue and bruises and things like that. Also, it's an incredible nitrogen fixer and fertilizer for your gardens. But when it comes to your skin and body healing, it's important just to keep it topical. You don't want to put it on like broken skin or ingest it or anything like that. I personally had a really bad bruise on my bum, fell off my bike. I just took a leaf, stuck it on my bum, tied a bandana thingy around it and left it there to heal. And I swear I healed much faster than I would have otherwise. And what I want to do with this here is make a serum for our neighbor. She's twisted her ankle and it's really not healing at the rate that she would like for it to. And so I did a quick little search on how to make a healing serum with comfrey. And all I have to do here is chop them up, put them in heated olive oil. So I'll heat some olive oil on the stove and put it in a bottle for her to use to help heal her knee. I love that we can gift things from our land, from our garden, to our neighbors and friends. I have this beautiful basket of pomegranates and mangoes. This was gifted to us by another neighbor. Oh, they smell so good. And look at the pomegranates, they're just bursting with gems and flavors. Definitely feel nourished by our community and nourished by the ability to be able to help and
give to others. So let's make this serum and put a lot of love and magic and healing into what we're going to give to our friend here. So first we're just gonna add our comfrey leaves to our little pan here, and then we'll add enough oil to cover them. Go, 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 go. Nice and low. So all of the healing juices of the comfrey leaves nicely soak into the oil. This is my little collection of jars and bottles for a future home apothecary.
With it being quite a warm afternoon and not wanting to keep something on the stove simmering for hours in our camper van, I decided to let our mixture sit in the sun and we can come back at the end of the day to check on it.
Just something to keep in your back pocket. If you're looking for something new to plant in your garden, consider comfrey. Not only does it help you heal if you hurt yourself or break a bone or something, but it's a great thing to gift to others. So cool. I love it. But along with taking care of our neighbors, it's also important for me to take care of Drew. So let's make him a quick lunch and see how he's doing inside the mill.
This is what we started with, and now look how different that looks right there. One of the advantages of doing this right here on the workbench, having multiple pieces of wood and access to the back rather than it being in the window frame, is that the tool can go behind here and you can push back out the lead to the front and pound against it on the front here, and it stretches and pulls and molds it exactly how we want it to be shaped. We'll put some screws right through the back side of the hinges here that will hold the frame in position and be solid into the frames that are existing already behind the plaster between the bricks to hold the window perfectly in place. All right, it's time to get the window put in the hole. We got our lead below here. He's gonna hand me the window while I'm up on the ladder. Then we're gonna put the tray up on the top. Wish us luck.
All right, let's do it.
All right, it's a pretty good look. Before we set this one permanently, we're gonna do that one.
If you're new to our channel and our watermill, this chamber here is where the horizontal water wheel once was. Apparently this kind of a watermill was designed by the Romans. There's still so much history here for us to uncover. Reassuring us that his ladder is secure because, as you will see in the next frame, there is one foot balancing on a rock.
Impressive behind the back, pounding.
Pounding.
Oh, will you hit the red circle on the top left of that camera? Putting some foam touches all the way around the casement there to secure it in place. Yeah, we were just taking observation that you can see there was like a floor level here, and the bricks probably were put in to close this whole space off, because all the old bricks are on the left and the right side of these windows. Thank you, Ferg. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good work today with the windows. They look great.
We really wanted to show you the skill and artistry that went into making the LED flashing for these windows. It ended up taking about 2 weeks to get it all done, but by the end of this episode, we will fast forward and show you what it looks like when they're all in. But first, we have a home apothecary project to attend to.
Tom, what are you doing?
Comfrey is actually not good for cats or dogs, but don't worry, a little sniff won't hurt them.
Where do I need to heal? Just rub it all over.
Here I'm putting all of the nicely soaked comfrey leaves into the bottle with the olive oil because then our friend can just put the soaked leaves directly on her knee. But in about 1 to 2 weeks time, she'll want to remove all of those leaves because mildew can grow in the jar. And then the oil can last for a very long time without the leaves in it.
Oh my gosh, it's literally perfect. Meant to be. Hope this makes you feel better, friend. Look at how beautiful she looks from over here. Wow. You can see our new door and everything.
The colors of the wood really pop.
Yeah, on the upper portion anyway. Down low, you can still see how gray it is down there.
Gosh, I just really love the place.
Me too. I also love that we get to hike over to our friend's berry patch. And it's a beautiful day for it. Look at that sky.
Oh, behold, the berry patch.
Patch.
Isn't that a sight?
Wow.
The trouble I have is I eat about as many as I pick. One container for you, my darling.
All right.
Since living in one spot, I love the connection that getting to eat from the land, give gifts from the land, share the fruits from the trees, from our land and our neighbor's land, just what a beautiful cycle it is and how we get to care for and gift each other. It sort of feels like we're playing house or playing neighbor every single day. I can't even imagine what it is like when we live inside of the house.
Berry picking comes at a price.
It does. Choose wisely.
Look at this guy.
Ow.
The $1 million question, though, is will we be living inside of the house by Christmas? I'm trying to be flexible with this wish here, but who's got the countdown? How many days do we have, friends?
Our neighbor's really tall, so he can reach all the tall ones. Drew's got the middle section.
My section, Brittany's section.
Yeah, not quite so far down, but but we did really well.
Very plentiful. Each one of these probably weighs at least 1 pound.
Wow, they are glistening. Cheers to a bountiful harvest.
Very plentiful. Cheers.
So exciting.
With nearly 3 buckets full, we left one behind for our neighbor as payment for his generosity and headed back home to our own little garden to explore what abundant gifts waited for us there.
Now that the sun has gone down a little and it has cooled off a little bit, I can take you guys up to the garden. Wanted to give you a little fruit tree update. We get a lot of comments from you guys asking how our fruit trees are doing. And you'll be very pleased to know that we have some bapples, some baby apples, as we like to call them bapples, growing on our 2 apple trees from Julio and Aldina. Thank you so much. We also have some oranges. They're green, but they're growing, and soon enough they will be orange. This beautiful collection of gifts from friends and neighbors near and far. Maria, who is all the way up in Sintra. We're happy to say that the peach and almond and all the other beautiful plants that you gave us are continuing to grow. Our banana trees didn't fare so well in the winds of summer. But our pomegranate tree, not the one from Svenja yet, but Svenja, we know that that tree is going to produce beautiful pomegranates one day. But the one that was here before, it's sort of like falling over on the edge of a terrace, but somehow it is thriving in its current situation. And we are going to have, it looks like 30 or so different pomegranates. I mean, as much as I miss van life, and I do miss the beauty and the excitement and the newness and the... Honestly, it was a distraction from a lot of internal things that I've had to and been able to work on and look at and find peace with and stuff. So it has been very good for me in many ways. But again, I miss the thrill of van life. But the benefits right now for me are definitely outweighing some of the costs. And in a future episode, I think I want to share some of my new self-care habits and things. If this is something that you're interested in, let me know in the comments below, because I'd really love to share more of that with you guys. Whether it's mental health, skincare, daily routine type stuff. Yeah, let me know. I'm very curious. Something else I thought that you would think is just crazy is, check this out. that. You see that wall of thorns? That is what used to cover all of our terraces. So when Drew and I first got here, we didn't even know we had terraces because a layer of these brambles literally just coated the entire land. So thick. And now to think of all the life that's being lived and all the food that's being grown where there was nothing but brambles once. It's crazy. 2 years of work, love, dedication, determination, imagination, all the Asians. And we're only just getting started. Speaking of Asians, we have to give some appreciation for the incredible LED flashing that is now on all of our windows. They're still finalizing some of the fireproof spray foam. They haven't fully fitted it in on here, but it is nearly a work in progress that is just about done. Wow, that is something else. Yeah, talking about appreciation. Comment below with your favorite Asian word. Let's keep it going. I'm just so proud of Drew and Ferg for all of the hard work they've put into the windows. They're nearly done. We are nearly at the finish line of the windows. And you know what that means? That means that as soon as we have somebody lined up to do the plastering, that's happening. The new portion, the brick portion, won't look like brick anymore. I know some of you love that brick look, but it was never meant to be the final look. That's structural bricks. It all needs sealed for water, wind, things like that. So that section up there will be getting plastered soon. We're almost there. Gosh, guys, what a journey. And one final look at how beautiful the morning glories are here, because those just feel good in my eyes every single day, and I can imagine they feel good in yours too. We love you. Thanks for being here with us all the way till the enders. We know who you are. And if you're looking to have even more pretty things in your eyes, then we'll put a link to one of our very favorite episodes for you right here. We know that you'll love it and know how much we appreciate you. Beijinhos.